Well, good afternoon to all. Let me first acknowledge with lots of gratitude those who prepared the excellent food that we were served. I can just imagine how much time and energy this has required to feed such an excellent meal to this large group that we are forming this afternoon. Thank you also to Chief Alex McDougall for his kind welcome words and for his extremely enlightening presentation about the situation of the Wasagamack First Nation. This is my first time in the Island Lake region. My first visit, of course, to Treaty 5 Wasagamack First Nation, but I'm extremely grateful to those who took their time to enlighten me about the situation that you are facing and the concerns that you have for your children. I would like to also express my gratitude to Elder Dave Boucher from the Sagkeeng First Nation, whom I heard speak yesterday in very moving terms, to Nicholas Boucher, who also gave a very important presentation about how your right to food is being affected by the diets that you afford today, which are making you sick. And he had very important data concerning the impacts of these shifting diets. And then I have to say that the mission was greatly facilitated by Grand Chief Derek Nepinak, Grand Chief of the Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs. And again, let me express to him all my gratitude for his time and dedication to representing his people. I am here because I was given a mandate by the United Nations Human Rights Council. And this is a body of 47 governments that is in charge of monitoring human rights in the United Nations system. This means that Canada, after my mission, shall have to answer some questions, shall have to react to my concerns as they should be expressed in my report to the Canadian government. And I will certainly dedicate an important part of my report to the situation of First Nations in this country. Yes, I could have traveled further north. Yes, I could have spent more time with you and with other of the 600 First Nations tribes, but seeing you was to me extremely important to understand beyond the figures, beyond the statistics, and beyond the second-hand information that I could collect what the situation here on the ground was. And I shall have to assess what I heard, what I saw, based on what is my compass. The right to adequate food, the human right to food. And the human right to food means something more than people should be concerned about your situation. It means something more than more charity. It means a legal obligation imposed on the government of this country to support your access to affordable and adequate diets, and, for example, to protect you and other First Nations from the practices of retailers who abuse their dominant position, their position as monopolists, where they operate in remote communities to charge high prices. It means a duty to align social assistance benefits to the increased cost of living. It means a duty to calculate income, social income assistance taking into account the huge costs of transport for those living in remote communities. It also means respecting your right to harvest country foods by hunting, by fishing, by collecting berries. It means a duty to support the very important school feeding programs, the lunch programs that you have in Wasagamack, but that you do not have in all the other communities I visited, despite the tremendous benefits that such school lunch programs may entail, not just for the children and their nutrition, but also because this is a way for children to learn about cooking skills, to learn about adequate diets. It is a way for them to encourage their parents to maintain gardens, vegetable gardens. And I was delighted to hear that in Wasagamack there were 240 vegetable gardens supported by your food security coordinator, and I think this is an extremely important initiative. The right to food finally means, and that to me is the most important, a right for communities to participate in shaping decisions that affect them. That means, for example, the right to be consulted when a transition is made from the food made to the Nutrition of Canada program. It means being consulted on which food commodities are being subsidized by the North Nutrition of Canada program and which are not. It means being able to complain when the prices that are charged for the basic food commodities are excessive in comparison to the prices practiced in the cities in Winnipeg, for example. And it means a right to be involved in the monitoring and the evaluation of the programs that benefit you. So you see, the right to food is not just about good intentions, it's not just about seeking more charity or asking people to be pitiful about your situation. It's about your right to claim certain benefits, certain types of support, and the corresponding duties of the government to respect that as a human right. That, if you wish, ladies and gentlemen, shall be my message to the Canadian government and to the Human Rights Council. And I do hope that these efforts I shall put into alerting the Canadian government to the situation, combined with the efforts of many others and with your own efforts, will in time result in sustainable improvements to your community. Let me again thank you for the extremely useful information I could collect, the very important statements I heard, and the many people whom I met and whom I do hope to see again when I return. Thank you.